Welcome back to Metal Heroes Review, episode number 53. Here reviewing episodes 18 and 20 of Metalder, along with its movie. Had one movie this time. Unlike Space Sheriff Cider, where he had two movies, he only has one. We're talking the movie first, because the movie is set between episodes 17 and 18. That's the reason we're talking about first. So this movie opens up with an empty ghost bank. No monsters, nobody is around, and then we had the four triumphant saints come in, and I wonder, like, where's the Emperor? We haven't seen him in a while. Turns out he's been ill. He's recovered from illness, and then he comes with the most ingenious plan possible: send everybody out to be my turn, my successor, by killing Metalder. Yep, and of course they're looking for him, and then we see, well, Metalder and Mai just swimming. Yes, Mai, of course, this is the first of two times these episodes we see her in a bikini. Or at least a swimsuit, anyways. Yes, so she hides, though, of course, Metalder basically goes to some fighting. He does defeat the Tutsuki brothers, which apparently they forget the fact they've actually met him before. Back in episode 7. Yes. Yeah. And they get defeated by Metalder from the roof, the Metal Tornado, which is, simply put, basically a Metal Heroes version. The way it looks, anyways, and when they show one of the episodes, it's basically their take on the Rider Kick. Yeah, it's literally the Rider Kick for a Metal Hero. I don't know if they. My only guess is the reason why they include it now, because Kamen Rider Black was coming back at this point in a few months. That was probably the reason for it. Like, ooh, let's basically hype up the fact that basically we have Metalder revving up the Kamen Riders and basically stealing one of their moves. Even though it's literally, that's literally what it is. It's a Rider Kick but with a spin. Yep, but it was a really interesting movie, and according to Neros, it was all a test to prove which one of you is capable of succeeding me. Because he's not going to be there forever. He is mortal, after all. They call him a god because he created all of them. But pretty interesting movie. And here's some bit surprise, though. The running time is shorter than the main series. You want to know how short this movie is? It's like 20 minutes. You're like, really? For a Metal Heroes movie, it's that long? Yes, definitely. The very first film for Steiner, that was like about 3 minutes longer than the actual episode of the series. So, but in the case of the main episodes, 18, we have literally the Grim Reaper of the group. If I can find him here. That's not him. Nope. I'm trying to find it here. Just give me it here. Ah, here it is. Fierce fighter Zergon, who was literally their god of death. Yeah, I think he's moving around like he's Space Raider. Yeah, his whole move set, like the way he moves, it's like literally, it's like the creators of the series must remember. Hey, remember there was a villain from a previous Metal Hero series who did the same exact thing? Yeah, it's Raider from Space Surf Shriven, which that came out in 1983. This came out in 1987, roughly 4 years later. We have another villain who does that. Now, I don't know if this happens uh, in the first, basically, I don't know if it happens in either Jasper or Selbin. I don't know. But I did notice that. So, oh, and this episode is this is a definite. Excuse me, it's definitely canon episode series. Why is it a canon episode? Well, because basically we're exploring Claude Neros' trying to figure out who he is. And the first time we see the episode is not in the throne room. Like a lot of the time we see him throughout this series, we actually see him in his human form. And probably by far his probably his fifth air appearance in the main series. And he's lying by a pool, and he's informed the same thing that, of course, Metalder was informed. Oh, that the U.S. government is sending back the Japanese archive on one giant disc, which is literally a laser disc. I'm like, how in the world did somehow an entire army's archive be put on a freaking disc? You need at least several for that, and of course God Nero gets hands on it, and he puts it in a laser disc player. My only guess is because it's technology at the time, so of course they've had something like this. And his whole thing is he wants to erase his past. It's like, erase that picture, and they hand it to the U.S. government. Of course, they alter it so they can't find his identity. So, oh, and the guy is killed. He also kidnapped apparently the U.S. sent a robot to just transport a thing. Now, we also get first mention of Miki's father. Yes, this episode is the first time he's mentioned. He does not make a physical appearance until later on in the series. Yeah, not for about a dozen episodes before it makes the actual debut. So, yeah, and of course, this monster actually is not killed. I mean, he's expected, he doesn't want glory. He just wants to basically kill Metalder. Which, of course, the way he says it, Neros actually is very appreciative of his loyalty, so agrees to modify by put a freaking bomb in his chest. And he gets killed right after Metalder basically gets his own arm chopped off and throws it right at him, and he blows up. Yep. In episode 19, this is quite interesting. Here's another very important episode of the series. So, we have it where Metalder, Kai, Kira, and Mai decide to go camping. Well, also some swimming. And we see this family of three, basically a husband and wife and their daughter, who is 6 years old. Which my second nephew will be turning 6 later this year, in November. My youngest nephew, in just a little over 2 weeks from now, will be having his 3rd birthday. Yes, because he was born February 28th. I was so happy he was not born on a leap year. Yep. But anyways, so basically she has to go to play. She wanders around. We see, I know what's this one here. It's Violent Spirakubo decides to open up a portal to the surface, which happens right in the middle. He does not know Metalder is there in the area. So he goes about chopping down trees, and then of course he just walks about, and all of a sudden the little girl, Miku, just wanders inside the ghost bank. Yes, which makes her the first heroic character who is not a bad guy who just wander into the ghost bank, and she just looks around, and the first thing she comes to is the main strategy room. And then she looks around and runs into Rhapsody. Which, weren't you destroyed? Nope, he was rebuilt. And it says his Furious Fire was basically going to take over him because, yeah, I guess maybe God Nero, maybe it was a bad idea to make him one of the fires, especially since he don't play music. So he plays music for the girl, and he tries to do his best to sneak her out, and of course he's stopped by Kobo and everybody else, and the little girl meets God Neros, and of course Metalder and Fall oh crap, the girl goes missing. So him and Springer out to the base, second time in the series. So they managed to find the actual base, and Top Gunner's right behind them. I'm like, where the heck have you been for the last few episodes? Yeah, he hasn't happened to see it at this point. It's only episode 19. He only missed one episode since his return. So they managed to go into the base, and you see him into the Ghost Bank. You're thinking, wait, Metalder in the Ghost Bank, and we're only 19 episodes in. Well, it was by pure accident. Like, okay, he's only here to rescue the girl. He's not here to basically destroy the base. So it was like, so you're God Neros. Yep, this episode the first time he ever meets him. So he's inviting some people there, and Rhapsody helps him escape. Rhapsody helps the girl out, and of course Springer, Top Gun is right behind him, and of course Springer, Metalder, and Top Gun managed to get out the same way they got in. Rhapsody goes a different way, and then Rhapsody proceeds to quietly retire from the Empire and becomes a performer at an amusement park, while, of course, Metalder battles Keba, and he gets defeated by the Metal Tornado. And he's not seen again into the third to last episode of the series, but he's officially gone. He is dead. He's only brought back once, but he's gone. Yeah, he's done at this point. I think this is only like his. Now, here's something strange. This is the same guy who killed the Metalder's creator back in the first episode, and it takes him at this point to defeat him. Doesn't it feel a little strange? Yeah. This guy had been around, mostly in the background, but mostly been there for the first 12 episodes, was absent for 2, came back at 15, was there 15, 16, was there for the movie, and was there for 18, 19. Oh, he does come back later. But probably is rebuilt. Yeah, he does come back in episode number 33, so he's got a few more episodes left to go, but yeah, and then pretty much Raptor, he's defeated. Then we hear from the Tank Army, otherwise known as the Armament Army, where we have Doorbell, Bonchek, and Melderon. Okay, the plot of the episode is they're testing out a brand new weapon to sell to emergence of death. Melder is simply put just. Actually, it's more like this is an episode where. What's his name here? When Kita, when he manages to go to Melder's base. Though it's not the original base, oh no, that's gone. Yeah, they had to sadly abandon it. For reasons? Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly why have they abandoned it for, but actually it was maybe because basically we came too close to it. So I decided to abandon the original base, the Silver Carcass, which, by the way, this is not the same one, it's a different one. So, on the way there, they discovered that a father and daughter abandoned the dog. Of course, the reason why, because they can't afford to take care of the dog and the wife had basically broken her leg. And the puppy's middle of nowhere. The little girl's in a happy family middle of nowhere. And of course, Bonchek, apparently he loves animals. Which, that's interesting for someone who basically takes over a tank. So, he is actually against using the puppies as bait. But his general's like, no, you have to use them. And of course, basically, he's able to live by the end of the episode while Megatron gets away, but the other guy in the episode. Darbon, I think he's kind of defeated. But don't worry, he'll be back in episode 23. Yeah. And he has roughly about 3 appearances left to go for him, and he's done. Yes. Oh, by the way, for Rhapsody, he has 1 more appearance in the series in episode 31. And that's sadly it for him. But it's interesting, though, the fact that he's the 3rd character to reform. Actually, more like the 5th, whatever. But these episodes were really, the 3 episode watch really good. The movie was actually pretty interesting. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much a particular review. Now, next up is going to be One Piece, and then Banners and Harry Party, and maybe if I get time, I might get a chance to get back to watch this. So, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and do not hit the dislike button. Okay? Next video. Bye.